Hi guys, it's Belle here, and today I'm back with episode 7 of the Little Golden Book Journal. We're just finishing up the tassel today, creating a tassel. So I've got all these beads here. Sorry, voice going. I've got all these beads and bits and bobs. I also made some paper beads out of some of the papers that I've used in the journal. I will leave the tutorial. I saw 49 Dragonflies video on this and thought I would give it a go. Some of them you can see I've put on a head pin and put beads on the top or bottom, and some I've just left for the thread to go through. I also want to show you some special charms that I picked up. Again, I will link where I got these down below. I got them off Etsy. So the first one is this cute charm. It really made me think of my two kittens. Obviously Binks is black and Toffee is a tortie, but they love to hug and cuddle, and I just love that, like the moon and the sun. And then I got these two charms. So this one first, and you can see it's a little tortie, and I'm trying to get to see the tail swings. And then I've got the exact same with a little black cat. Let's try and get that tail to swing. So yeah, there's Toffee and Binks right there. Just lots of fun beads, some bells, because, you know, it reminds me of the girls. Lots of fun colours. Just little things, like I've got this little fish one. There's all sorts. I've got this, is it called a Dorset button, that was made by my friend. She sent me quite a few of them through a little while ago, and I thought they'd work perfectly in here. So the way I'm going to do it is I've got this silver bulldog clip. These are great because they can be clipped onto a journal and then removed to work with. And then I've got, I think it's a lobster clasp in silver too, and we're going to put the fabrics and chains through this bit. Now there are other ways you could do this. If you've got a hoop, you could use that, and then you could attach the hoop with a bowl pin or something. You can punch a hole with a crocodile into your journal, and again attach something like a lobster clasp or a bowl pin or something through there. But this is how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do a mix of fabrics and chains. I like to usually have my lobster clasp attached to something when I'm working, because it just means it holds it in place. And I've got some silver chain too, and I have a lot of fabrics, fun bright coloured fabrics, because, you know, it's a fun bright coloured book. Now, what you need to also work out is how long you want your dangle to be. So my lobster clasp is going to go in here. Not lobster, bulldog clasp. It's going to go onto the edge of my journal like that. And let's straighten that up, Belle. Then I've got the clasp here. So we're looking at... Try and get that flat on there. We're looking at, realistically, we don't want it to go all the way down to the bottom. We probably want it to go down to here, which is about, let's do it this way around, it's easier to do. I'd say about 6 inches, so about 12 inches, because I'm going to double over on the fabric-ish. You don't have to be exact. You can trim it once it's actually on there. This is a 12-inch ruler. Let me get this over so you can see the end. This is a 12-inch ruler, so I can just cut a bit. And this is obviously sari silk, because I like using sari silk, and I've used this particular one in the journal too, but I'm going to half it because we don't want it too thick. Oh, that was so satisfying, that sound. Oh, and I love this particular one because when it frays, let me get that up close. when it frays, it's got a slightly different colour. Oh, it's so pretty. So that's that one. Let's just do another one, shall we? And now the great thing is I've got a piece here, so I can roughly measure the rest using the one piece. Now this is quite thin sari silk, so I might leave that as is. Possibly. No, I'm not going to. I am going to cut it. Sometimes sari silk doesn't rip very well, so be aware of that. It depends on the quality of it. Also got some orange. Love this orange. It's so bright. Make sure I'm in camera. Let's move all this up. You might want different lengths on your fabrics, which is quite nice sometimes to have them different lengths. I'll probably do that with the chains. I'll have them at slightly different lengths. See, this one was a bit harder there to rip. I'm going to use the slightly thinner one, I think. That's really nice. Let's move these over now. I've got my little fabric pot there. And a blue one, I think. So yeah, just get all your fabrics and your bits and bobs. I want this to be just like the journal. I want it to be bright. I want it to be colourful. But also, this is about cats. And, you know, cats love fabric. They love yarn. So I was going with lots of different bits and pieces for that. So that's all of those. Let's have a look at some of this yarn. So I have this bit of multicoloured pom-pom trim, and obviously I have used pom-poms in the actual journal, so I'm going to have a bit of that through it. I have some of this fun pink trim. So as you're doing it, have a look what goes with what. Do you want more of another one or not? I had some orange here, and I have this kind of yarn, not yarn, but kind of, oh, I don't know what it's called, trim, and I thought that would be quite nice because it's nice and orange, and it at the bottom it kind of opens up a little bit. You can fray it a little bit because I don't want it being perfect. Let's have a look at some other bits and bobs that I've got. What else have I got on here? Well, this is quite good fun, this one too. So let's use some of this. So yeah, think about what colours you've used in your journal, what fabrics you've used in your journal. Try and use some of those on your trim as well when you're at it. Really want this brighter bit here because that'll go really well. But add a few more interesting things. I always think a tassel looks really good when it's got lots of interesting. I've got just this bag of random bright colours here. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got some of this kind of ribbon, which is quite nice. And it adds the polka dots, which adds something a bit different. I'm going to cut this a bit bigger because I think I'm going to do a slanted edge. Got this green organza, so that'll go really nicely too. Yeah, so I'm just looking for different colours, different textures, all that kind of thing. Got a little bit of lace. Oh, that just adds, that just makes it all pop because it's something a bit different. Yeah, like that. Also got to remember that this hole here isn't that wide. So whilst I'm cutting all this stuff out, I may not use it all. It really will depend on, see, I've got some pink polka dot here too. Got the green polka dot. Do I need both polka dots? Probably not. It really will depend upon how much I can get through, especially as I'm using chain as well. So look, oh, got some purple organza here. That's pretty too. So let's cut that. Yes, I'm being really exact with the measurements. If you've been with me a while, you'll know I don't like I don't like measurements and numbers. Me and numbers are not the best of friends. So if I can get away with not doing numbers. Now on here I've got one I definitely want to use. Look at this fun one here. Can you see all the different colours on this? Like the green and that. But it's also really hard to use. So I wanted to use it and I don't think I will now. See, you never know. I've got some sparkly and some more eyelash trim in purple here. And a bit of, let's add a bit of sparkle. Let's add, I'm trying to think, will sparkle work though? Maybe just some purple eyelash trim. Let's take that off and cut this. Want textures, want colours. I don't think there's anything else on there I want to use. We've got some yellow here as well. Might be nice to have a pop of yellow because we don't really have any yellow. So I'm thinking this one, this grain one, would just add something a bit different to it. So let's add that. Right, now I think that's going to be it. Then maybe I've still got these trims. Oh, look at them, aren't they yummy? And I was thinking maybe one of these might be quite nice, but I'm going to put it to one side for now because I can always change my mind. And now we're going to do some chains. So I'm going to put most of those to one side. You will need some jewelry making tools. So I've got my little cutter one there, some silver train. Let's try and find the end. And I'm going to have a few of these on here. So I'm just going to cut it roughly to the length that ribbon is. Let's get it cut. So yeah, there's one. I'm probably going to add 3, I think. And do a slightly smaller one. And another kind of the same length, but not quite. So I want it shorter than this. And also I can cut them. Again, I can trim them if they're too long and they're not working. So that's the good thing. Always cut things slightly bigger than you think you'll need them, because you can always come in and trim them later. So let me just move the bits of metal that came off there and put them in the bin so that my cats don't eat them. So now we're just going to start adding it together. I like to add the thicker ones sort of bottom and build up. Because that way I like this to be higher. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on this little box that I've got with all my other jewellery findings in it, because I just like this to be higher. Let's start off with the thicker one and we're just going to feed it through. Oh, see, that snapped off there. We're just going to feed it through, make sure that the polka dots are showing, because obviously that's the reason that I picked this particular one. Let's move that back a bit. And then you can just hold them in place whilst you're putting others in. So like I've got just a little clip. So I'm just going to hold it in place a minute, because obviously I'm going to put others in and I don't want it loose and falling about and all that kind of stuff. Put some sari silk in. I also need to think about what I'm going to tie it together with. Put a bit of yellow in maybe. Just putting them through. I can trim it all, sort it all out, change it around a little bit depending how I feel afterwards. But I just want to get them through for now. Might put a chain through. Let's put one of the long ones through. Like so. Try to put them on top. Trying to make sure that they're the same each side. Same length each side. This is so much easier usually because I have a wooden, big wooden box on my desk here that holds a lot of my tools. It's a heavy wooden thing. It's got tools and glues and all sorts on it. And normally, because it looks a bit like a garden gate all the way around it, a fence, normally I attach my bulldog clip to one of the kind of fence panels, and it holds it in place really well because it's solid and it doesn't move around a lot, whereas this bowl is a little bit movable. Holding that there. Okay, let's have a look. What else do we want through? Should we put a bit of the orange through, just add a bit of difference? So yeah, so you're just layering up. You're having a look, what looks nice, what can be layered, all that kind of thing. Let's add another bit of chain. I like making all sorts of tassels actually. I just enjoy making tassels, but I like making, let's add the pom-pom trim, tassels that are kind of mixed, where it's fabric. This one's going to be a bit harder, which is why I'm adding it now, because there's not a lot of, because it's got pom-poms, there's not a lot of, what's it called, room at the, in the whole bit. Right now, what's gone where? Let's move all this. Let's get the pom-pom trim through. There we go. Let's have a look. Everything's where it should be. Pink over here. Yeah, why is the pink all moved? Let's do that over here. Yeah, so you're just kind of looking at the ends and thinking, okay, is everything kind of the same? Move that round to there. Chain over here. Yeah, so I like doing mixed, you know, a bit of metals, chains, different kinds of fabrics. Just whatever makes your heart sing when you're putting together a charm. As someone who is very texture orientated, I like my tassels to really be lovely to feel. That's my most important thing. Like, I like when I'm holding them for them to either feel really nice, have a great texture, or have lots of hidden things that you can't see straight away, or this does not want to go through. Right, hold on. Let's pull that down tight so I've got more space. Yeah, I love texture, whether that's having all chains but lots of different kind of charms used on it, or having different mediums. And I love adding sound as well, so I love adding bells or things that make a noise, and we will be adding bells to this, because how can you have a charm, a dangle on a cat's journal and not have a bell on it? I mean, that makes no sense to me. Like, for me, like, that's what I need on mine. I'm going to add another chain on top. So yeah, think about that when you're making a dangle. Think about, well, what do I like? What feels good? Going to add some of this yarn. I want different textures and sizes as well on the yarns, because, or on the stuff that I'm using, because of the beads as well that I'm going to be using on some of it. This is getting chunky now, so I'm not going to have much room to be able to add much more. That's fine. It's quite full as it is, which is yummy. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to have a good look. See if I like it. You can, at this point, before you like tie it together kind of thing with whatever you're going to use, you can move things around. So you might want to have other things showing more, and they might be underneath, but it's easy to kind of move it before you tie it. And I'm quite happy with that. Do I want something else? No, I'm quite happy with that. So now we're going to tie it together. Again, it's good to get a piece of thinner yarn or fabric to do this. I'm going to hold it in place, and you're just going to tie. So I like to really wrap it around a few times first. And then you can kind of do a knot, tighten it, and then wrap it round again. Sorry, the eyelash trim is catching on this one. And then do another knot. But make sure it's nice and tight. That eyelash trim really wants to get involved. And another knot. And then you can leave those dangling. If you want, you can add a bit of glue to that to keep that in place. Okay, and now what I like to do is you get the journal back over. Here we go. So I'm going to attach it. And then this is where we then will make the decisions. Because as you can see, some of it's a little long, like the polka dot one, which, like I said, I knew it was going to be. And so now I can make the decisions. Let me just get this like this. Let me just open the journal up. About trimming. So I'm going to do the edges at an angle there. So that looks good. Do this one at a slightly different angle. Have a look, have a look, have a look. Also going through untangling any that may be tangled. We can trim this one off. Although I might actually leave that long because I'm going to add some things and it might be able to go through that, and then I can tie a knot. So yeah, so that was it really. Most of it was a good length because it will hang on the journal like so. And now we're going to get adding charms. Now I wanted to show you something else as well. So I kept my kitten's first collars. They're in a bit of a state. Don't judge me. They were kittens. They chew and play and kick and pull. These were their very first ever collars, and I kept them for a reason. So when I got their collars made, so this was Toffee's first one. Let's turn it this way because you can actually see the pattern then. So it was a little, it says Boo, it was orange, it had bats on it, but I actually had her name engraved on it. So I wanted to keep it because one, you can also, like, there's all sorts of metal bits on here as well that I can cut off and use on the journal, but I wanted to put this on the journal. And this is Binks's first one. She has a she had a pumpkin, a black pumpkin collar, and again her name was on there. So I wanted to keep their first ever collars because I actually want to possibly add their names, this part of the collar, because it's also a reminder of their first collars. And let's just cut that ring bit out because, you know, who knows if I want to use this. Might want to use that. And then we've got this bit, haven't we? So I'm trying to work out how to cut this off. Because, you know, don't throw certain things away. Because you never know how you could use them. Okay, this is a bit tough. I don't want to use my good fabric scissors on this, but I should really. So we've got this fun bit too now. So that is Toffee's first collar. They have new collars now. Toffee, they're kind of like proper collars on dresses, the Peter Pan type collars, you know, the rounded. So it's not like a flat collar like this. And Toffee obviously has one that has apples all over it. It's made out of apple fabric. And Binks has another pumpkin one with the cutest pumpkin bell that hangs down from it. Oh dear. And there's that as well. So they're good and fun to use. So now we're gonna get adding some charms. I also made, out of these beads that I had, a little thing that says Toffee and one that says Binks. Because, you know, it's their journal, guys. I've got my bulb pins, I've got my beads, my little silver rings and everything to add, all these kind of things. So let's start. So this orange one down here, I think I want to add one of these. And the reason I've left it long is so I can do a knot in it at the top. because this I made using a paintbrush. Don't do that. Use something smaller and skewers. It makes them very big and hard to then use on anything else. And then I'm going to tie a knot at the bottom. And then I'm going to tie another knot at the bottom. So that's why I left this one a bit long, because I need it to be a big enough knot that this bead can't come over, like so. Let's just do another knot as well, because why not? It's a bit clunky, but it's fun. So now that's shorter and we have a bead on there. Woohoo, yay! We've got these metal ones which are really good. I'm going to add the bells, I think, on the bottom of there. So let's just get a ring, put a bell on, add it onto there. My girls are going to love this journal. All my journals that I've got on a bookcase opposite me, you can't see them, but they're over there. A lot of them have tassels of one sort or another on them. And my girls love nothing better than chewing on said tassels. And then I'll come in and I'll just find the tassel pulled off the journal or something. Or, yeah. Naughty girls. They're very naughty girls in a fun way. Do adore them. So gonna add come back. Right, it's because I'm all fingers. Use the tools, Belle. Sounded like use the force then, didn't it? Use the force, Belle. Literally. Yeah, so I'm going to add these on here, which I'm sure they will right, I'm not normally so clumsy. I'm sure they will just love to play with. Oh, loving it already. So let's have a look at what other bits I've got in here. Obviously, I want to add these fun charms. Now, do I add them with a ring? I think I might, because I want it dangling too. This is where, like, these are good. The other little bits of metal, it's easier to add these kind of things to them. Oh, it's so cute. It's just adorable. So there's my little toffee. And now let's find another one to add Binks to. I want it to be slightly shorter. Okay, so here's one. Where's Binks? Binks, where you gone? Binks? Binks? Like usual, Binks is up to naughtiness. Oh, it does make me laugh. Yeah. That's another reason she needs a bell and her sister doesn't. So that we know where she is. Oh, I've just realised there's no hole in this one. I'm going to have to make a hole. Right, where is my... I did not realise that. Let's see if I can push a hole through. Sometimes when they're made, charms, they're not quite, like, it's not quite complete kind of thing. Right, well, that's not coming through, so I don't want to do that on camera. That'll have to be done off camera. Right, well, I've got an open, what's it called, charm here. So let's add another charm. Let's find something. Look, I've got a little blue fish here. Let's add this little blue fish. Red fish, blue fish. And we're just going to add it randomly on, like, the lace. It's another reason I like lace, because you can put hang things off the lace. Blah, blah, blah. Let's find something else. I've got some more yarn here. And it's just really moving things around, seeing where you want to add stuff. Let's add another one of these beads. Realistically, I need to get some beads out. Some of these. Yeah, let's add one of these beads. It's one of those paper beads that I've put beads on the top and bottom of. And I'm just going to add them on to the chain that also has a bell on the end. Right, if I can actually find a loop at a strange angle. So that's added onto there. Let's have a look. Right, we've got this one that hasn't got much on it, so let's add some stuff. What do I want to add? Right, we've got this star. This is fun. So let's get another loop. If I can find the edge of the loop, there it is. You should really be using two jewelry making tools for this. Okay, get over the plastic. Yeah, there we go. And where's that long piece? Let's just add it anywhere because, yeah. So we've got a star now added, which is super cute. We've got this big orange star, which I thought would go really nice on like just a piece of yarn. So I do have a needle here with a large eye so that I can put yarn through it of some sort. Say that I am all fingers and thumbs today. Okay, the struggle is real, guys, but that's okay. Ooh, deep breath through the eye, hold it the other side. That's the problem with eyelash trim. It is super silky, so it just doesn't want to do stuff half the time. Okay, so we're not going to put it through that bit. Going to have it on here instead. There we go. And we're going to put the orange. Or do I want the blue? I'm going to put the blue on here, like so. And then we're going to add another little knot so that it doesn't come off. Let's do something different there. You could add a small bead as well if you wanted to. I'm just going to cut this bit. There we go. We've got that up there. Liking it. Let's have a look. So we've got toffee on there. We've got nothing on this one. We could hang a larger sort of tassel here, which I really like because I've got it in my stash again. So why not use it on here? And it's nice and long. So if I put it on the smaller piece of chain, then it gives a bit of length to that. So it's coming together. And then we've got the star on there. What do I want at the bottom? I do have these buttons as well, which are really quite cute. They're good to hang on with stuff. Got this fun heart as well that I want to add on. So I might add that down the bottom because it's quite heavy, which then will make sure that the tassel's got some weight to it, which is good. Okay. And again, these were just in my stash, in my beads box. I just pulled out all these nice bright ones. Oh gosh. All right, fingers and thumbs, fingers and thumbs. Because they go with the journal, nice and bright. And I'm probably not going to use them on other journals. A lot of these have been sitting in there a while. Because obviously, right, where did that fish come from? There it came from. Okay, that's because I didn't tighten that loop very well. Now I've got to find where it was open. There. This is why you're meant to use two. And then squish them together. Okay, so let's have a look. I've also got this one with this fish and beads hanging down. So that'll be a fun one to put on somewhere. That might be good to tie on. Trying to see like other bits. I've got nothing on there, so I could hang it off there. But I feel like it might be fun to just kind of hang it off the top there. I have this large one. I really want to use this. So hold on. This is when bulb pins come in handy. And what colour do I want? Maybe a nice orange. And that'll be good to put under the bit that we tied around to keep in place. I'm just pushing that underneath. I'm telling you, doing this on camera is way harder than it usually is. So that's just going to go there. We've got all these and beads hanging. And I still want this attached somewhere. I also have this that I'm going to put on, and it says lost and found. And, well, it's just perfect, isn't it? For two little kittens that were, you know, lost, as it were, on a train and then found. And they have their forever home now because they're with us. So they were lost, but now they're found. So that was a Tim Holtz charm, and I just thought, yes, that's just perfect. You want to try and layer up charms so they're at different lengths, so there's lots of fun stuff to look at all over. So I've got this one because obviously fish, and my girls really do love fish and stuff. Let's have a look at a charm, a loop that will work. Yeah, they really do love their fish, which is understandable. They're cats. But I have had cats before that don't like certain things. My daughter's cat doesn't eat anything except for biscuits. Like, she won't even eat real chicken or anything like that. She's just like, no, that's not for me. I've got this orange star, so I was thinking of trying to put it, okay, let's try and use eyelash trim again, because that really worked well last time. Where's the needle gone to? There it is. Yeah, that worked really well last time, Belle. Let's do that. But don't give up. This one's a bit dodgy, that end, so let's find the other end. Just going to put that through. That one went through nicely. And let's do the orange star on this one. So it's super cute, and I like the way the stars look on here. Now, knotting eyelash trim is also interesting. But it's done. Right, excellent. So there's a couple of stars. There's our big one. We still got lots of space. So let's have a look at what I can add. I've just got some fun beads here. Again, in bright colours. Got to do the colours. We're just going to add these to something. And yeah, you can see I'm just going about, I'm adding stuff, I'm looking at where stuff is, I'm thinking, oh, what looks good there, what hasn't got anything there, what do I need, what's missing. And you can just lift your charm up, shake it about, have a look at it, have a look at all the things, see where they're all hanging, decide if you need more. Obviously this needs more, why would it not? And I still haven't, as of yet, added their names. So let's do that. Let's add their name. And I could actually use the hoops that were on the journal. I could actually do that. I don't need to, but you could do that. So that's worth thinking about. It's a nice big solid hoop. Let's use this. Yeah, this needs a lot. It needs a big hoop and a lot on there. Let's find a bit where I can put Toffee's name. Let's put Toffee. Oh, there's a star there. There's a fish on that one. Right, here we go. Here's one. I can add her name on here. And it's just another way of keeping a memory. You know, this was from their first journal, their first journals. This is the first journal, but this was from their first, what's it called? It was from their first collar, and it's just a lovely memory to have on there that I've got the little bits from their first collar on there, reminding me of that special moment. Yeah, let's put Binksy's one further up. So there's lots of different things you can do. So they're in there now. And again, I'd have to really look to find them, but they're both on there. Oh, it makes me so happy. I have these fun beads as well. These will be good to just add. And I should be able to just push this through if I can find my needle again. And I can't, so I'm just going to use, or attempt to use, the round nose pliers. Yeah, such a professional. But yeah, because this has a slightly bigger hole, so there we go. Woohoo! Yeah, done. And let's add another knot on here, so we don't want this coming off. I think I need another bit, another knot. Like so. So yeah, just pull out those random things. You can add things to your tassels that aren't necessarily charms or made for tassels. Yeah, there's just so much you can do. Oh, it's really coming together nicely now. Let's have a look at what else I have. I have this cute little pink dangle. That'd go good on one of the chains. So let's just add it to one of the chains. Although I do also have this really fun butterfly. And I think I might use the butterfly just because cats do like to chase butterflies. We had one cat in particular. He's the one we lost last year, and he's the reason we got the girls in the first place. So it seems very fitting that it's on here. But he rarely caught them, thankfully, because we don't want him catching the gorgeous butterflies. But yeah, he loved chasing butterflies. And dragonflies. He had a thing about dragonflies too, and he did often catch those, but rarely, like, they were still alive, and he'd bring them into the house, and you'd suddenly see this dragonfly fluttering around the house. You'd be like, no, not again. I did have this that I wanted to use, but I don't know if I will. Some fun buttons, got some more beads. Got another fish, but there's already yellow there, so I don't really want to use another yellow. Just having a look. Still have this bit that I didn't get to use that I really want to use. Got this bead. That might be fun. Still have their other names that I made. The Binks and Toffee. Do have the pink one. Could just add the pink bead here. Oh, I have a little bird one. That might be quite cute to use. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just picking up things, thinking, oh, that's pretty, I want that on there. What I would suggest is put the ones you want most onto your charm first, because then they've already got a space and you're not having to worry that there's nowhere to put them afterwards. So put those on first and then work from there. So that's on there now. Okay, let's pick this up again and have a good jingle jangle, lots of bits. Look, it's just full, and then it's got all this fabric on there too. Oh, I just love the sound and the feel. Those big chunky stars really add to it. Got all sorts down here, look. Feel like some of the chains still need a bit of stuff on them but I'm also keeping in mind that there's that black cat charm that I need to also add. This is all caught up, as happens with fabrics and chains. Yes, I feel like maybe I want another thing on there. Maybe another fish. Having a look. Maybe another bead. There's another pink bead. That's already got a bead on it, so we don't want 2 beads, do we? Well, I've got these just little beads there. They will do. And we can add that. And I think once that's all done, we will basically be done. Get on, get on. Da, 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 da. I think we'll basically be done. I feel like I want another paper bead. I made a lot of them and there's space up here, so I'm going to add another paper bead because there's space, so why not? There's another black and white one there, and I want to add that because obviously Binks is black. So although this is a very colourful journal, there's just those few touches of black that put me in mind of Binks, because it's her journal too. So that's up there now. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. Let's move all this. Let's have a good look. So we've got the big cat one on there. We've got the stars. There's lots of beads, fabrics, their names from their journals, bells, a charm. I mean, there's the back. You can see a lot more of them on the back. This will be the front because the big cat charm is on the front there and stuff. It sounds great. It looks lovely. And let's just add it to the journal now. Sit the journal up. Put this in the middle like so. And there we have it, guys. There we have the tassel on our journal. I think it goes really well. It's got lots of colours, lots of textures, lots of interesting little bits and bobs, some memory keeping. I just have to add that other black cat charm, and yeah, that's it for now, guys, and I'll be back soon with the last video in the series. And in that one, we're basically just going to be putting some bits and bobs in the pockets. I'm not going to be making journaling cards on that. I'm going to show you like a basic way of making journaling cards and showing you what I'm going to put in here, and then a quick final flip through. But yeah, I'll be back again with that soon, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.